Hello again, friends. I'm Chet Buchanan. I'm so excited to be back as your host of the 2022 Vegas PBS Kids Writers Contest presented by my good friend Janice Allen. This annual competition gives elementary school children right here in our community an important outlet for their imagination through creative writing and art. A panel of judges spent countless hours reading through hundreds of submissions, and during this award show, we're going to highlight the 19 entries that stood out above the rest. You'll hear stories inspired by jokes, dreams, family members, even favorite stuffed animals. So drop everything you're doing right now, sit down, relax, and enjoy the show. All right, let's get started. Our first story comes from Penelope, a kindergartner from Elise Wolf Elementary, who won first place for Sparkle and Cookie Find a Friend. Let's find out what happens when three animal friends go on a hunt for the perfect house.
My name is Penelope, and the title of my story is Sparkle and Cookie Make a Friend. Sparkle and Cookie Make a Friend by Penelope. Sparkle the unicorn and Cookie the dog are BFFs. Sparkle and Cookie want to go to school, but school is closed. So they decide to pretend they are doing school at their house. The next day, they did have school, and that day they had a new kid in their class. His name was Bracky the dinosaur. Bracky lived alone. That made Bracky feel very, very sad. So Sparkle and Cookie suggested for him to live with them. Do you know what he said? He said yes, but he was too big to fit in their house. So they moved into Bracky's house, but Sparkle and Cookie were too small to fit in Bracky's house. So they decided to make a new house that was not too small and not too big. And the house was perfect. The end. I hope you liked my story about my animal friends. Goodbye.
What a great job on putting detail into your illustrations, Penelope. The one with Bracky hanging upside down from the monkey bars, that's my favorite. The second place winner in kindergarten is Esther. She's a homeschooler who wrote the story Lucy the Lion. Now, when her dad has a massive craving for berries, Lucy the lion cub sets off on a berry collecting adventure. Once she gathers enough berries to satisfy her dad's appetite, she starts walking home. But wait, should she go left or should she go right? Oh no, Lucy's lost. Meanwhile, back at the lion's den, Lucy's mom and dad start to worry, as you might imagine. Lucy should be home by now. Luckily, a tall, friendly raccoon named Steve comes to her rescue and guides Lucy safely home to her grateful parents. So now we're to our final kindergarten winner. It's Irene from Mabel Hogard Elementary School. She won third place for Peace and Math, a unique story that turns the definition of these two words into characters. Now, peace is kind, caring, loving. It smells flowers for no reason. It loves to play, especially with its favorite buddy, math. Math is all logical, all about numbers and what you can do with them, like adding, dividing, subtracting, and multiplying. Now, while the two may sound like they have nothing in common, when these pals meet up, it's all about playing, all about learning, and all about friendship. Next up are our first graders. Afton from MJ Christensen Elementary is our first place winner for her story that reveals the truth about legendary monsters. Now, unfortunately, my buddy Afton was unable to join us for the show, but she said it would be okay if I read it on her behalf, and I can't wait. So you ready? Here we go. The sightings of me and my other monstrous friends. Hi, my name is Chupacabra. I'm going to show you my monstrous friends. The first one is Bigfoot. Here is Dr. Johnny the Explorer's description of the sighting. After breakfast at my campsite at Reddinger Campground, I saw Bigfoot right outside my tent. I said, "Are you just a normal person who hasn't shaved in years?" Bigfoot said, "Yeah, can I borrow your shaver?" And I said, "Okay." Then we took a selfie. Next is me. And here is a page from Mr. Babyhead's sighting of me. The chupacabra, remember? I was eating some berries. I spotted a chupacabra. I said, "Goo goo puppy," because I'm a baby. Mr. Babyhead said, "Yeah, you get it." Next is Mr. Johnnyhead's sighting of the Loch Ness Monster. I was at Loch Ness. I was just renting a boat there when I saw in the lake the Loch Ness Monster. It was putting its head in the water and I was like, "What is he doing?" He told me he was drinking. So now that's it. It's the end of the book. I just wanted to say, look for monsters. They are cute and adorable. The end. The second place winner for first grade is Elijah, a homeschooler who wrote How to Make a Paper Airplane. It's all about a boy named Tim who folds an original origami world, but his little brother Leo thinks it needs an airplane. So Leo tries to fold one all by himself, but he gets it wrong. Actually, Leo folds a lot of airplanes wrong. Tim sees how frustrated his little brother is, so he shows Leo how to fold the perfect plane. The brothers go outside to fly it, while their pet lizard hops out of his aquarium, picks up a broom, and cleans up the mess that the boys left behind. And wrapping up first grade is Zoe from St. Francis de Sales, who won third place for her fantasy, Zoe's Magical Zebra. Zippy the zebra can talk, fly, can change her black and white stripes into pink hearts and stars. Her classmates tease her, but a little girl named Zoe accepts the unique zebra for who she is, and the pair become best friends. Now one day, a baby zebra goes missing, and Zippy and Zoe save the day. With Zoe on her back, Zippy flies around the farm and finds the baby zebra hiding under a bush. Zippy's classmates celebrate their hero and realize that she's perfect just the way she is. Moving on to second grade now, let's hear from our first place winner, Taylor from Pinecrest St. Rose. Last year, you might remember, she made us laugh with her first place story about a weird family vacation. This year, she pivoted with a tale about a cat-sized dragon that spits poison fire. Let's check out Flame and the Fire Claw.
Hi, my name's Taylor, and the title of my story is Flame the Fireclaw. Flame the Fireclaw by Taylor. Have you ever seen a fireclaw before? A fireclaw is a cat-sized dragon that spits poison fire. Sound cool? Read on to find out more. There once was a fireclaw named Flame. Flame was a nice fireclaw, but only had one problem. The other fireclaws are red and he's blue. They say he's horrible and doesn't belong. Flame had sad thoughts like, nobody likes me, why do I have to be different? Why am I blue anyway? He also had harsh feelings like sadness, loneliness, and embarrassment. One day, Flame was on a hunting trip and overheard some water dragons planning to attack his kingdom. Scared of what he just heard, he went back to his kingdom as fast as he could and grabbed his best friend Heat. Flame and Heat came up with a plan where he will distract the water dragons while Flame sneaks up behind them. Flame really wished that Heat could do the sneaking up, but he knew he was the only one with blue scales and could blend in with water. Heat flies up to the water dragons and asks like he doesn't know what they're doing and says stuff like, "Are you hunting for fish? Can I come with you?" The water dragons didn't know what to do because if they carry on with their plan, Heat will follow them. While Heat distracts them, Flame charges up and blasts the water dragons with all his might. The water dragons roared with fury and surprise. They fell to the ocean floor with a clunk. Flame and Heat went back to the Fireclaw Kingdom. Flame didn't want to talk about it, but Heat exploded with the news. They had a ceremony for Flame and Heat. They became famous. The kingdom apologized to Flame for their misbehavior. Flame felt proud, excited, happy, and loved. Everyone learned a valuable lesson. Don't judge each other by their looks. I hope you enjoyed my story, and I hope I'll see you next year.
Taylor's done it again. Another well-written story with another valuable message behind it. We're all on pins and needles over here to see if you're going to add a third first place trophy to your collection next year. Good luck. Zoe from Las Vegas Day School is our second grade, second place winner for her story, How I Lost My Imagination. During recess, Zoe is bonked in the head by a soccer ball, and she loses her vivid imagination. No matter how hard she tries, she can't daydream about magical forests. She can't see animal shapes in her chicken nuggets. Before bed, she explains her dilemma to her dad. He has a brilliant idea. He'll sprinkle a handful of his own imagination dust on her head. So the next morning, she wakes up. She sees her magical forest again. Her dad's plan worked. What an adorable story, Zoe. Now we all know where you get your imagination from. The second grade third place winner is The Unicorn That Lost Her Colors, written by Hannah from Bartlett Elementary School. Goldie is a beautiful unicorn. She's mean, and the fairy is tired of it. So to teach her a lesson, the fairy takes away Goldie's colors and instructs her to do 3 good deeds in order to get them back. So Goldie spends the day helping Ursula the bear, Cotton Candy the llama, and Baby Hedgehog solve some major problems. Tired and hungry from a full day of good deeds, Goldie tries to walk home but realizes she's going in circles. Fortunately, Goldie's new friends hear her cries for help and give her food and supplies to get her home safely. The next day, Goldie's color returns, but now she's even more thankful for the new friends that she made. Our next reader is a third grader, Grace, a homeschooler who won first place for her story, Walking to School. Pay close attention to this funny conversation between 2 girls that is just full of miscommunication.
My name is Grace, and the name of my story is Walking to School. Walking to School by Grace. One late morning, Misunderstanding saw a girl walking to school with a sad face. She wondered why. "What's your name?" she asked. The girl said, "My name is Misty Bus." "Why do you look so sad, Misty Bus?" Misty answered, "Because I missed the bus." "You're sad because your name is Misty Bus?" "I told you, I missed the bus," Misty said. "Now I have to walk to school." "I'm sorry you have to walk to school, Misty. Why don't you ride the bus?" Misty Bus cried, "I missed the bus. Who are you anyway?" Misunderstanding said, "I'm understanding." "Looks like you don't understand me," Misty said. "Well, my name is Understanding, but most people call me Misunderstanding." They stopped walking and looked at each other. Then they said, "Oh, so your name is Misty Bus, and you missed the bus, and you misunderstood me, Misunderstanding," they said happily. Misty didn't feel sad anymore. They both laughed and walked to school together. The end. I like to make funny stories. I hope this one made you laugh. Thank you.
That's really funny, Grace. So clever of you to use a joke as inspiration. This is Peyton from Heckathorn Elementary School, our second place winner for third grade. The title of her story poses a thought-provoking question. I know fairies can fly, but how do you have a party in the sky? This is what Leah the fairy asks herself when she receives an invitation to a sky party. She arrives promptly at sundown, but the hosts are still trying to hover the furniture in the air. They're using fans, they're using string, they're using helium balloons. Leah's fresh set of eyes helps her see the obvious solution to the problem. Magic. The fairies combine forces, and it's just enough to float the furniture and get the sky party started. Peyton's creative story highlights the power of teamwork and documents the very first time in history where the hosts appreciated a guest arriving early to the party. And the third place winner for third grade is Taylor from Goolsby Elementary School for her dramatic story, The Tree That Danced in the Wind. On a cold, stormy night, a child drifts off to sleep under an oak tree. But the tree has different plans for her. It whisks the child away on a series of dreamlike adventures through the forest. The tree builds the child a mansion made of rose petals and invites her to stay forever. The pair are inseparable until one day the rose petals wilt, the mansion collapses, and the tree demands the child wake up. When the child opens her eyes, she finds herself in a hospital bed and realizes her life in the forest was really her mind trying to escape from reality. Our next author is a fourth grader, Reed from Givens Elementary School. Reed won first place for his story about a mysterious man who possesses a special skill. Want to know who he is? You want to know what it is? Then get ready. Here is Umbrella Man.
My name is Reed, and the title of my book is The Umbrella Man. The Umbrella Man by Reed. One particular dry and dusty night, a mysterious stranger came to the town of Cactusville. He was a gentle giant and shoulder-shaped like an old umbrella. His arms and legs were thin and pointy, and his nose was long and droopy. His shoes were upturned and shaped like umbrella handles. He rarely smiled, but his eyes were sweet and kind. The way the stranger looked matched his trade, which was fixing old umbrellas. He did not have a name, so the townspeople just called him the Umbrella Man. He was very quiet and usually kept to himself. He lived above his umbrella shop, which sat on a barren dirt hill surrounded by cacti that were shaped like people. He rarely got customers or even visitors, since the townspeople thought he was odd. Everyone knew it didn't rain in the towns of Cactusville, so no one had any wish to visit him. He was very lonely. Even though the townspeople thought he was wasting his time fixing old umbrellas, he didn't care, since it was his passion. Day and night, and night and day, he worked on old broken umbrellas he found in the town dump. In the end, since no one wanted them, he gave the umbrellas he fixed to the people-shaped cacti outside his shop. He wanted to share his skills so much. Until one night, on a full moon, the townspeople noticed a change in the air. With one strong lightning strike, it began a wet monsoon. One night, the townspeople haven't seen in a century. Everyone frantically rushed to the Umbrella Man to repair the old broken umbrellas. Of course, he was overjoyed to help them and tried to fix as many umbrellas as he could and as fast as he could, since many of the townspeople were eagerly waiting in the pouring rain. At last, he was noticed a mild person in town and was never sad or lonely again. He had visitors every day, even when they had no umbrellas to fix. In fact, the townspeople celebrated him and his trade with a new town holiday called Umbrella Day. The end. The moral of my story was some people have a unique talent, and you never know when it'll be helpful someday. I hope you like this story.
That's a beautiful story, Reed. Your vivid imagery made Cactusville and Umbrella Man all feel real. Speaking of feeling real, have you ever had a dream that felt so real, but was a little strange all at the same time? Carly, our fourth grade second place winner from Freedom Classical Academy, explores this theme in her story, The Adventures of Molly and Her Friends. One night, Molly dreams of visiting a lush green land with her friends Michael and Mandy. But things turn strange when they hear animals talking. When Michael falls into a hole, the animals, led by the tiger, jump into action and help the girls collect sticks and vines so they can build a ladder for him. After the team rescues Michael, Molly wakes up and realizes that the animals represented real friends and family who always have her back. Carly's story teaches us not to be afraid to ask for help, because you never know who might be standing by just waiting for the invitation. The third place winner in fourth grade is Sophia from St. Francis de Sales for her witty comic book, Stickman. When a pencil is captured by an evil stickman, a pair of stick brothers are enlisted by the narrator to rescue him, with the narrator serving as their usually helpful but sometimes annoying guide. The Stick Brothers encounter daunting challenges. They fight a rhino, defeat a giant flower, and test their parkour skills by leaping across a jumbo mushroom. Finally, they face the evil stickman and scare him away using airplanes equipped with weapons. The evil stickman vows to return, but until then, the grateful pencil thanks the brothers for saving him with a $15 Walmart gift card. Now the brothers just have to figure out how to escape the pesky narrator. I feel attacked. Our final reader is fifth grader Nikita from M Plus Academy. Her poetry, The Glass Child, about a little-known population, is sure to move you. Check it out.
My name is Nikita, and I wrote The Glass Child. The Glass Child by Nikita. What is a glass child? A glass child is a sibling of a person with a disability. The word glass means people tend to see right through them and focus only on the person with the disability. Glass is also used because the children appear strong, but in reality may not be because they have been overlooked. Let me ask you a question, to my own suggestion, perhaps a riddle to let you know, to think of this to and fro. You can see me, you do more for he or she, you think I can take care of myself, I have good health, I am not wild, for I am a glass child. I am Rebecca Winsfrey. I am Rebecca. I have always wanted to go to Tribeca. So has my sister Beth. However, she is deaf. My parents play games with her, putting all their attention on her, but have they realized that they have another child? My family always feels guilty, always rushing around in a huff, yet they feel they don't do enough. My mother feels she must always be home. She always says, I don't want Beth alone. But sometimes I wonder if she thinks, what about the other child? My best friend's mother, Miss Hetherington. Don't worry, Miss Hetherington. Your daughter Regina is my friend. I heard her birthday is coming up. I know she wants a pup. Though you didn't give me an invitation. When you got to my name, you stopped in contemplation. For if I come, my sister comes. You hired a storyteller who also plays the drums. Would Beth even appreciate the stories the storyteller creates? Don't worry, Miss Hetherington. I've seen it all before. How would you have known that Beth's sense of sight could guide her alone? How would you know she reads lips quite well? Anyone who speaks their story she can tell. She's a brave girl, my sister Beth. She sees more than you and me, and even more in depth. Do you see me? Maybe you've seen me in the park. Playing with my sibling, our differences are stark. Maybe I am sitting and wondering and thinking in your class. Do you tiptoe around me as if I were glass? Maybe you've seen me here and there, although you may not notice me everywhere. I am not made of glass, I will not break. Fill me with hope and believe in me and the dreams I'll make. Do not see through me, I am not transparent. My strengths and desires are indeed inherent. I am strong, I am willful, and can make you smile. I am a wondrous being, I am a glass child. I hope you enjoyed my poetry, and I hope you know more about a glass child now.
That is powerful work, Nikita. Thank you for sharing the perspective of a glass child and bringing attention to how we can all support the well-being of these siblings. Ellie from Bartlett Elementary School is our second place winner for 5th grade. Her personal story, My Great-Grandpa Chutaro, transports the reader to Japan in the early 1900s. Ellie's great-grandpa is the mayor of a small town where most girls only receive an elementary school education. With daughters of his own, this doesn't sit well with him, so he decides to take action. And he establishes a high school that both boys and girls can attend that still stands to this day. And in the end, all 6 of his daughters graduate from college. And after his death, the people of his town built a monument in his honor. And Ellie hopes that one day she can touch it and look up to the sky and tell him thank you for believing in girls and pushing them forward. And our final 5th grade winner is Shay from Staten Elementary, who won 3rd place for Krabby's First Day, which is inspired by a true story. One day, Thomas shoves his beloved stuffed animal Krabby into his dinosaur backpack and decides to take him to school. He adores his red and orange wonder and wants to show him off to his classmates. So after a long day of waiting, Thomas finally reveals Krabby during show and tell to the oohs and ahs of all of his friends. But when we read Krabby's perspective, we realize it's not quite as much fun being cooped up in a dark backpack all day. All he can think about is how to escape. So after a long day of waiting, the backpack finally opens, and Krabby is relieved to see Thomas. He enjoys his 3 seconds of fame before Thomas thrusts him back into the dusty case. Hey, so this year we thought we'd try something different, and we're really excited to introduce the Vegas PBS Staff Choice Award, which recognizes one story across all of the grade levels for its originality. The recipient of this 2022 award, first time ever, is Kenzie, a 4th grader from Harris Elementary School. She wrote A Very Bossy Bedtime, a colorful comic book about 2 bunny sisters who like to push each other's buttons, whether they're playing pretend, taking a bath, or brushing their teeth. They live to annoy each other. But when one bunny is sent to time out, every second feels like an hour for both her and her sister, because even though they get on each other's nerves sometimes, deep down, they're best friends, and every moment they have together is filled with new adventures. Hope you enjoyed this as much as we did bringing it to you, and I think we can all agree that the 19 winners of this year's contest are just oozing with talent. And just by you watching today, you've played such an important role in their writing process, giving them an audience and a purpose for their work. And if you'd like to revisit these award-winning stories, you can go online anytime you want at vegaspbs.org/writerscontest. And while you're there, check out details for next year's competition. If you're in kindergarten through 5th grade, it is never too early to start thinking about a story that you could enter. And hey, grown-ups, writing and sharing stories, it's a great confidence booster for children. So encourage the kids in your life to enter too. Again, thank you so much. See you next time.